here today with Nandor Shaffer, the creator of the book Seasons. How you doing, Nandor?
I'm doing well, Cody. How are you?
Doing pretty good, man. Not too bad.
Awesome.
So your book is on Kickstarter right now, correct?
Yeah, so the it's a volume 2 is on Kickstarter, and you can get volume 1, but the Kickstarter is mainly for volume 2. But like for people that haven't read the first one, you can get it on there as well.
All right. So what is the book about?
Yeah, so Seasons is a kind of a urban fantasy, like supernatural superhero story that takes place over the course of 1 year of this young man's life, and it's going to be this one year journey that he goes through, and with each passing season, he gains new powers and abilities. So it's that's kind of like the superhero kind of aspect to it, where his abilities change, but he's not like a guy in a costume or tights or anything. He's just a normal young guy, really depressed and really kind of mentally unstable in the first volume, and it's really this personal growth, this journey that he has to go through to kind of like actually realize his potential as a person. And there's a lot of like, if I were to compare it kind of visually and narratively, I'd say it's kind of, if you're a fan of like James O'Barr's The Crow, or American Gods, Preacher, kind of those
Yep.
books, The Sculptor by Scott McCloud. It's kind of like an amalgamation of that, where it's taking a lot of I'd say like universal truths and fundamentals of life, like the seasons themselves, and kind of symbolically using those in a symbolic manner to reflect and kind of thrust this character on this whole new kind of supernatural journey that he's being thrust into and a part of.
All right. And how many are you doing graphic novels? Or are you doing issues and then turning them into novels?
They're actually every book is going to be a graphic novel, so there's going to be a graphic novel for each season. So volume 1 is spring, and volume 2 is summer, and then volume 3 will be fall, and 4 will be winter. And but what we're doing is putting it out there online for free for people to read. So people can go to seasonsthecomicbook.com, and I release pages like every Monday and Friday from the series, so
Mm.
people can keep up with it that way. And then it's also available on Comixology, and you can buy the single issues on Comixology, and then it's on Macroverse and Webtoon, and kind of everywhere you can read digital comics. We try to get it everywhere we can. But they're going to be released as graphic novels for each season of the year.
All right. Do you have a whole team behind you, or are you a one man band?
It's really just me and Anthony Gonzalez Clark. He's the artist for the book, and so I'm the writer and the creator of the series, and I create like the designs for the characters, and I do the layouts for the pages, and then I work with Anthony, and he's the one who really puts everything together, and makes it look as amazing as it does. And so yeah, it's just really us two, and I distribute it myself. I put it in stores myself. I work with uh, everyone that has to do with anything to do with my book. When I go to conventions, it's just me. I bring the books with me, and it's
Mm.
really just like I'm definitely running the show, you could
Okay.
say. So.
And can are you in comic book stores yet?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not nationwide, but I'm in locally in my area. Like, I have Seasons Volume 1 Spring, and my other book that I did before this volume, Summer, called Lifeline, and both of those books are all together in like 5 or 6 different stores in my area. So it's
Wow.
it's in there, and I've had some interest from other comic stores around the nation, but they just kind of haven't gone anywhere. And I've kind of wanted to, since I am just running it myself, I kind of want to make sure I, kind of keep things simple for me. That way, it's not too
Mm,
complicated. But if the series took off, in such a dramatic manner where it was like, really just, everyone wanted it everywhere, which would be awesome. I'd be happy, to work with, distributions and things like that.
all right, yeah, because my next question was going to be, can they request it from their comic?
Yeah, I mean, oh yeah, like people that want the book, you can buy it on Amazon too, but you can personally message me um, through my website, seasonsthecomicbook.com, or on social media, and I'd be happy to send you a copy, and also if they want to get it through a store, just contact those stores and they can get it to you.
All right. And about signing, do you sign them also,
Oh
or
yeah, yeah.
upon request?
Oh yeah, yeah. I love doing that. Like anytime I leave books anywhere in a store, I always sign them. And I think that helps, to sell them too. But like when I go to conventions and stuff, everyone wants a signature and everyone wants to, kind of get that personalization. And it's really cool because I actually work as an assistant manager at a bookstore, and there'll be people that'll come in, that are in the graphic novel comic section, and I'm helping them look for stuff. But I always, if I kind of can tell they maybe like some of the same stuff I do. I have Seasons and my other book Lifeline in there in the store, so
Nice.
I'm like, hey, you should check this out. This is, and I don't tell them I'm the author right away because I don't want to sound too like, oh yeah, just, buy my book. But I want them to look at it for themselves. And if they're like, oh, this is really cool, then I can be like, well, hey, like I did this, like this is actually mine. And there was this really cool story where this guy came in this was like a few weeks ago. Um, and he came in and we were talking about comics, and then I was showing him my book, and he said, I think I remember seeing this like big Seasons banner at this convention I went to a few years ago, and I was like, no way, that was me. Like I was there at that convention, and because I have these banners, when I'm there at conventions and stuff, and so he bought it, and everything, and it was like he remembered me, and it was just like a really cool experience because it was a few years ago, but that stuck in his mind, and that title stuck. So it was a really cool meeting.
That's awesome. Wow. Yeah, I can only imagine the excitement of somebody recognizing you.
Yeah, yeah, it's really cool because there will be people, and I'm not a celebrity at all, but like in my hometown I kind of am because I'm kind of the only person doing this, and uh, I'm not in a very, I'd say, like progressive or creatively encouraging community. So when they
Mm.
see something that's, they're like, "What, you did this?" They're like, it kind of raises their eyebrows, and they're like, like how? And they're, it's like, well, it's just, you just got to do it. And so a lot of people will see me and they're like, "Oh, you're the Seasons guy or whatever." So it's cool.
Right. So tell us about your very first book. What's the name of
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, so it's Volume 1 Spring. Yeah, the first book is Spring.
Right. I
And
thought you'd done another book before that. I know we
no,
got
so
seasons.
yeah, so Seasons Volume 1 Spring was the first book I ever did, and then I had a second one called Lifeline. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So I did one in between. Yeah, I did one in between Volume 1, and then Volume 2 of Seasons is what's on Kickstarter right now.
All right. Well, what advice would you give to people out there that's trying to start their own comic book?
Yeah, so really, what for people that if you're in my shoes, where you're the writer, and you're struggling to figure out, okay, how do I get my story out there? It's really important to have your part done. So you want your entire story written out, to the best of your ability. Have a full script, have everything kind of ready on your end. I would copyright it. I would, make sure that you look into, what it means to have your own, I guess, business per se, and kind of have learn kind of the business side of things before you start to find an artist and do any of the paperwork with all that. But I kind of like would do some research and get your story done to the best of your ability, and have references ready, and kind of just be prepared, and kind of ask yourself, okay, if I was an artist, what would you need? And so you kind of have to do all that work beforehand. And so I would do that, and then I would start artist hunting and trying to find someone and that you can click with, and that you can creatively really have some chemistry with. And you can tell, like you'll tell if okay, this is working or this isn't working by if you're trying to explain this is what it's supposed to look like, and after 2 or 3 times if they're not getting it, then you should probably try to find someone else. But once you find that person, um, I recommend if you want to go the trying to pitch it, different publishers have their pitching and submission requirements, and I would look at those and do your best to follow those. But if you want to just kind of go at it like I did and just really do it on your own, I think giving out the first, if it's a graphic novel, giving out like the first issue for free and like sharing it with everyone, I think is the way to go. And trying to show people that you're committed to this and you're passionate about this, and this is something that means a lot to you. And usually I think that will, and that you're proud of it, and you're like, I don't care, I want to give this away for free because like this is what I want to do, and you want to share it with people. And so I would do that and just share it with everyone you can, and either put it on Webtoon, or build a website and put the first issue on there. And try to get connections with people, get on shows with people, if you're launching your first Kickstarter, because I wouldn't recommend just like self-publishing a comic and funding it yourself, because you want to have fans and you want it to grow, and you should go to Kickstarter or Indiegogo. You should go to those places to try to find your fan base. And so I would do that. And if it's just like a single issue one shot, honestly, like I'd probably, looking back, like doing the first volume, doing a whole graphic novel for my first thing that I've ever done was probably, maybe too ambitious at the time, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, because there's a lot of worry, a lot of anxiety. It's a lot easier to just like put out a one shot, like a 24 page or 32 page book, and that way the funding goal isn't that big, and that way it doesn't take that much to crowdfund and get it. So I would start small and just keep building from there, and always try to um, you know keep growing as a creator, and not don't just find your niche or your genre, and like really try to get yourself out there. It really depends on what they want, what that person wants. If they want to make their own stuff for the rest of their life, or if they want to make their own stuff so they can get to Marvel or DC or Image. So for me, what's worked is really doing my own thing, and proving to publishers and everyone I know that, hey, like I can do this on my own, and this is what I want to do.
Right. Do you want to get signed to a publisher, or do you want to stay?
Um, You know, I've kind of been back and forth on this, because when I first started out, I really wanted to be with like Image or Boom, or Alterna, like these different independent companies, um, because I knew I wasn't going to be in Marvel or DC or anything, because like they only look at people that are seasoned and that have
Mm.
experience and everything. So I knew that that was out of the question, and I needed to start small and kind of build from there. And um, I did try to like reach out and try to like get seasons in front of like these different publishers, Dark Horse and all these people, but it just wasn't working out. But I really believed in my story. I knew it was good. Like I was really confident in my ability, and knew that I had something really special here. So um, for seasons, I think what I want to do is just have it be mine, and really make it my own and do my own thing. But I would love to work with the publisher at some point. You know, I would love to work with any of those guys and be, you know, someone that can, you know, work with them and, you know, create new stories for them and all that. Like that's definitely the goal. I mean, the goal is stability with writing, you know, like trying to find a job that, you know, can pay your bills. And I think, you know, I'll take any comic writing job that I can because that's what I want to do. And I think, you know, if that's your dream and that's what you want to do, I think you should take every opportunity you can get.
Right. Um, let's see. Are you gonna stop with? Is season only gonna be 4 books?
Yes, yeah. Seasons is just going to be 4 books. So yeah, like spring, summer, fall, and winter. And we're on volume 2 right now. So and it took us a little longer than we expected to get to volume 2. Because it came out at the beginning of um, it was 2018, and so it's been about, you know, 2.5, almost 3 years. And so we wanted to have a book out every like year, a year and a half. So we're planning on doing that um, from here on because we've gotten really good feedback and we can tell that there's a fan base for it, even, you know, even more so than when we just started. So uh, it's just going to be 4 for now, and I'm going to have other projects in the works as well, kind of in between each volume of seasons.
Are you gonna do like the big cinematic Marvel universe? Like all of your books gonna tie in a little bit to each
Uh,
other, or
no, not as of now. Like everything is pretty separate for now. I've thought about creating a universe, and I have a another writer friend who's kind of doing something like that. And um, it's just not like I love superheroes and I love superhero comics, but I think I feel like either it's all been done before or you know, you'd really have to do something really you know, like a, you know, lightning in a bottle, really, you know, just really something special to get there. And I haven't thought of anything quite yet that, you know, would I think warrant, you know, a universe so far.
all right. Well, that's about all the time we got for now, man. Is there anything you wanna say to the people before we go?
Yeah, I mean, I really, you know, encourage everyone to check out the Kickstarter right now. It ends 9 a.m. Central Time, November 1st. There's 16 days left from this recording, and um, we're as of right now, we're 70% funded, and we still have 16 days left. So we've raised over like $4,200 in the first like 15 days, which is like really incredible.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and this is the fastest growing Kickstarter I've done. This is my third one, and the numbers for this are just, you know, crazy good compared to my other two. So and those went well. So like, you know, I'm even more excited about this one. And you know, for people like I said, kind of at the top of the show, that are wondering, you know, well, hey, like this is the Kickstarter for Volume 2. They want Volume 1. You can get a bundle, actually a discounted bundle on the Kickstarter right now, where you can get Volume 1 and 2 together, and they're both hardcovers. I have Volume 1 right here, and this is the hardcover book for it.
Nice.
So volume 2 is gonna be like this. It's gonna be red. You know, each season is gonna have a different color, which is really cool. So when they're all like side by side together, you know, they're gonna look really nice. But it's gonna be really high quality hardcover. And what we really want to do, we have a stretch goal for like $500 on top of the funding goal, where we want to do some embossing and some like gloss on the cover and like really make it stand out and make it like even more poppy and exciting. So we're really trying to hit that stretch goal. But yeah, I would just encourage people to check it out. And if you love, you know, stories where, you know, the creators have really put their heart and soul into it, and that, you know, you want something inspiring but also like deeply moving, like Seasons is for you. So
All right. Well, thank you for taking the time to come talk with us.
yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.